G'day, lads. Welcome back to the One-Eyed Pod. It's here, baby. It's D-Day. Wait, how many days left? 1 day left. Today's the last day.
Yeah, 1 day left. It's
rolling lockout.
Getting exciting. I mean, the camper rally, you got to lock in.
I know. I saw that.
It's getting exciting.
Your
team is almost there.
I logged in, right, and I was like, oh my god, they got green ticks on them.
Yeah,
it feels good, doesn't it?
Yes, and round zero just doesn't. Can we just Laura? How do we?
It's Dildo Dylan.
Is it Laura? Yeah, Dildo Dylan, and then Laura Lame.
Laura Lame's the best one.
Why are we persisting with this? I mean, maybe it would have been better with without Cyclone Angus. We call it Angus on this show, but
we call it Angus.
It doesn't work, Laura. It does not work. It was shit. And
see how they're backing themselves in?
It's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. And the worst thing about it is you got your Collingwood hat on. There was 2 games, so of course Collingwood's going to get the most hate. So it was the most torturous week I've had in a long time. And I keep saying Pies are going to be good, but the devil's just creeping in, and just saying you're missing the 8. You were just way too bullish on the Pies.
It's just every time you're in bed at night, you just hear Nick's not all he's cut out to be.
Yeah.
No one else in the midfield other than Nick.
Well, we may as well talk about it a bit because now I'm actually worried. When we found out about the Houston trade, we smacked Dacos and Pies to win the Pies to win the grand final, and then
whoa. Whoa, let's not talk about this yet. We'll talk about this mid-season. This is some information that we'll talk about later. We don't want to jinx anything.
Oh, well, I'm just saying I'm a bit nervous because the man's cramping it halfway through the game and not even pickle juice can save him.
Did you see the stats he had, though?
Oh, yeah. And and tagged.
The sprint. Did you see the sprint stats?
No.
Oh, mate, it was one of the high. It was like off the charts readings of like sprint time and speed. So like he was just basically they were saying is he was off the charts in like consistently sprinting just to get away from the tag.
I'm actually
like with a work rate like that, anyone's going to get cramped up bad like that.
Yeah, and the heat, but. I mean, I just want to put my hand up right now. I actually said on the pod last week that I hope he does bad because I wanted him at a lower price. I'm surprised I didn't get that much hate from you guys. The Pies, the one-eyed group chat. They knew I said it, and you've fucking jinxed it. And I was, I wasn't phased either way, but now I take it back because I really just wanted us to win this game, and the whole week's been shit.
Because as I do, I always re-listen to the pod to see how we went. I was listening to the pod and I didn't even hear you say it when we were on the pod, but I heard it when I was in the car and I was like, did this guy just hope for the downfall of Nick Dacos?
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm really sorry. But yeah, it was interesting. I think the 2 games allowed us, I think we saw Leak and Leak had 50% tog. So I don't rate the pick. He's definitely going straight out when Green's back in.
Yeah.
But the first game, the Sydney Hawthorn, we saw Sheldrick, which was good. So we didn't get sucked into that, I think he scored 50 odd or something, even probably less, I think. He got subbed out, played a crap game, couldn't get near it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, yeah. But I think it was good, though. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it was good so we didn't get these shit cunts because we would have started Sheldrick and he would have got subbed and then we would have really cried and made a wuss and been not happy.
Do you think you can start him still? He's just got that.
No, he's only one cash.
Yeah,
he's going to have it in his system now. He's like a 160.
Or he might be the sub. He looks like a sub. He looks like a sub as well, I reckon.
Yep. Do you want to jump in because I want to talk about subs?
Subs.
I want to talk about people getting subbed.
Go.
I've got some news on the grapevine, right?
Go.
So today I had a conversation with our Brisbane informant and was asking him all the hard-hitting questions about Brisbane. And this guy
Hang on.
loves.
I messaged the informant today, no response.
Yeah.
So can't believe
response.
it. You've got the actual.
Well, I was on the phone to him, and this guy loves Brisbane, listens to all the fucking the podcast, reads all the big footy things, and knows like all the people who are down there at the training and who are very well informed. He said to me that he isn't starting Levi Ashcroft.
Thank you. I mean,
He
do you want me to
said
take the lead?
Oh yeah, go. You know exactly what I'm about to say.
I have been scared, and I actually messaged the informant this. So when did you speak? When did you speak to him?
About 4 hours ago.
I sent that message 4 hours ago. Has he?
I reckon it was about 4 hours
I think
ago.
he's a good sub candidate. Not a sub. I reckon maybe he'll start the game, but I reckon they'll ease him in, and that's what makes me. I do love it. That's what makes me think I should just. You need one of the Ashcrofts, just to feel good about yourself because they're both stars. But I just think is Finn O'Sullivan, O'Driscoll, there's all the names, Laylaw, maybe Laylaw will get eased in. Are they more likely not to get subbed? And, therefore there's less risk about it. But Ashcroft, I think he got 85 or something in his preseason game. He looked unreal.
They said he's basically saying that apparently they don't want to rush him into it. He's very likely to start as the sub and then come on. And they're just going to work him into the game because he's coming off an injury as well. So it's a little bit scary. He's not starting him. And I said I was starting him and then he was surprised. So it's
but you as well. I mean, you've been really strong. I remember we talking offline. You thought he was the best rookie out of the lot.
I think so. I reckon he'll be the best rookie this year.
So I don't think if you think he's the best rookie, surely that means you've got to start him. Regardless or not if he's a sub. I don't know if he's the best rookie. I think Sardis is the best rookie.
No, he's the best rookie, mate. He'll win the Rising Star.
Yeah. I think maybe to start the season and to make quick cash, probably his Sardis is better than him, but better at that, making money. But the better player, obviously, Sardis can't even kick a football, mate. I cannot wait to watch Essendon versus Hawthorn, and he has about 20 or 30. I'm jinxing us again. But fuck me, mate.
Don't say it.
All right, I won't say it. But we all know what we're thinking because we've watched Sardis, and last year he was a butcher. He was basically selling, Scotch fillets and all that kind of stuff.
Wearing an apron to training.
Marble and all.
And some other news from Brisbane. He also said that he's not starting Will Ashcroft. And he's starting Lachie Neale instead.
Really?
And I asked him why, and he said purely because he was put off by the practice match, but maybe he's reading too much into it.
For Will Ashcroft?
For Will Ashcroft. But he also said to add that the confirmed midfield is Dunkley, Neale, Ashcroft, and McCluggage has been pushed onto a wing.
Yeah. So I was going to read out the stats, but Neale said pre-season that, or about 3 days ago, that he wants the others to basically lift his game until he goes Chalky Neale mode, probably like round 16 and just be an absolute pest.
Just big boy mode.
So Neale dominated the practice game. He got 30 touches and a goal. But where's the Ashcroft? I'm just looking it up. Sorry, I'm doing it as it go. He had 24 touches and had 71%, but he had a few turnovers involved. But he still scored a 93, I think, in SuperCoach. I mean, that's not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. He's in my team at the moment, and we'll get onto our teams.
Yeah.
I'm still hot as on the Will Ashcroft pick.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. Oh, he's in my team right now. I think we'll go on to it later, but I think he is very trustworthy at his price. Then,
Yeah.
old mate, big 6'8", big beast, just look like Thor out there. You know who, Mr.
Big
144.
Finn Callahan. Ooh, Jesus. Before we move on to Finn Callahan, he also said, I've got some great goss from this guy. He's just ripping my ear off all day on the hot things. Now he is starting, which I don't agree with this pick, but I'll say it just in case someone else is. He's starting Sharp from Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Does he not? Was he playing SuperCoach 3 years ago?
No, but he said he's
2
a
years
gun.
ago when we had him.
When we had him. He said he's a gun at Brisbane and he reckons that he'll score well at Melbourne. I disagree. But anyway, but he also said Jackson Pryor
is good.
He's a fantastic player.
Thank you, Michael. You were shitting on the
pick. He's a really good player, and he's surprised that Brisbane didn't play him as much, and he'll do really well at Essendon.
Yeah. I think he's a good player. They have big raps on him. Brad Scott, did you hear Brad Scott's comments? He basically was,
oh my God.
He's a beautiful man and a beautiful option, essentially. It made me actually want to think about finding a way, because I'm running fewer defenders on field, but I thought, maybe there's an opportunity to play 2 defenders and have you throw 4 primos.
Mm-hmm.
But like he sounds like a decent pick, but like you said before, he doesn't get a lot of the ball. He's more an intercept marker. So it's at 170K, it's what other options do we have anyway?
Yeah, it's really tough at the moment. But yeah, that's all I got off the grapevine. So I will have to make some modifications to my team to try fit in some of these people. But yeah, also some hot goss on Luke Cleary. Is that his name? He's a gun, apparently.
Have you been listening to me all podcast? I mean, the previous podcast?
No, I'm joking. I'm just starting to hear it a lot more than what I was hearing at the start.
Now, I heard Freya is playing midfield this year. Well, like probably for the first 3 or 4 rounds due to their injuries. So that made me, there's a Bulldogs guy on Twitter who goes to the games, training, and he said, there's going to be a player who's, going to play on ball, and then I think Freya's name got mentioned. So he'd be in between, but I think that hurts his ability to score, maybe. But I think what's more important is that may allow Cleary to get involved. Who knows?
Not at all. The only problem with Cleary is how expensive he is.
171. Yeah, so you got to pick one of the two, I think, Pryor or Cleary. And you go Pryor because he's Luke Cleary could get dropped any minute and could even get subbed, to be honest. 171K.
Yeah, and Pryor seems like he's got a little bit more of a stable footing there. The only fucking thing that really pisses me off right now is my team is, as you would say, min-maxed. I've got $700 in the bank. So
that's how you want to do it. You don't want to be like, mate.
I don't have Pryor in there.
That's it. I was just going to say, there's no point, saving the cash. What for? You just know
there's no point.
Just go gangbusters on it. I think it's rewarding. I think it's personally rewarding when you get to $0. Like if you've cracked the code that good, you may as well just turn off the app, just leave it, and then the next day change your team. But at least you got there.
Name a better feeling than going, oh my God, I hope I have enough money for this last player. And then hitting him, seeing he's got a green little tick, a green plus, you hit it. And then you go, oh my God, how much money do I have left? And it's just 0. And you're just like.
And the worst feeling is
I've done it.
It's happened so many times to me, 200 short.
Oh, it's the fucking worst, cunt. Or like 100 short.
Yeah. It's just painful. But you can't pick them all. I think that's definitely the case this year. I've found it very hard to be set on a structure because there is so many good options, and the rookies are good as well. But the elevated ones are, you know, spicy. So you got to make a sacrifice somewhere, which is so shit. Um, but I think the it's it's value year. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, pick a couple of your big dogs. I think I've got 2 big dogs.
Yeah.
Um, you pick a couple.
Like I'm looking at my team. Usually I do pay up for players, but I only have one 600K player in my team.
Go on,
Um,
let's jump into your team. I wanna see your team. Walk us
oh,
through it. I know everyone else wants to see it as well.
all right.
Um, if you've made it this far, maybe I'll put it at the
I'm
front of the
doing my
video,
draft at the
the
moment, so
16 minute.
I'm gonna auto pick it for the lads. Just live quickly my draft, 8 players. Backline Zorko Clark, midfielders Petrarca Oliver, Rux Gorn, forward 1 Jason Horn Francis. Don't know how we've
Oh,
done it, but auto pick.
how's he
Let's do
done
the
that?
auto pick. I don't know how I've done it, but it's for a cashier as well. So I'm hoping to. I'm in about. It's got to be 8 cashies. I think it's got to be 8 cashies.
An absolute demon, an
I win.
addict.
I win 2 out of 3, and then I'm going. All right, this is how you make bread. Watch me.
Load me up, baby.
Watch me be down. I think they're a 50 a piece. These cashies, so I'll just
Yeah.
completely lose all my money, and then we're in debt with the what's our weekly betting thing that we usually do. I've forgotten even the slogan for it.
Cherry on top.
Cherry on top. So cherry
Yeah,
on top and cashies. It's just AFL just taking my living away from me, isn't it?
it
And my
is. It
mental
definitely
health.
is. Hey, cherry on top's back this year, by the way. We'll be doing the cherry on top. Excited to get into that. I don't think we will limit it to only Collingwood games this year. I think we'll make it a little bit better for ourselves.
I think that's wise because we actually we I think we only hit one for the. Oh no, we hit it more than one, but we probably hit 3 for the year out of 24. But we were getting greedy with them. We weren't being reasonable because we're only putting $5 on it, so we wanted to make the people you know that could win the money. We wanted to make them a fortune, but unfortunately, it was just a loss for everyone, wasn't it?
It was. It was a lose-lose situation, really. Now
Um,
run us through from the top. Name out your players
I'm
in the
trying to
back
get
line for
rid
the
of
South
this
Coast.
stupid this flex option, but yes, my team, Sheasel. Um, how do you think you want to go about it? Just line by line and discuss it,
Yeah, line by line, and
rather
then we'll
than player
discuss them.
player player than player. Sheasel, Zorko, Short, Roberts, Perryman, Traynor, and then on the bench, Patton and Reed. I've gone bigger in the defence, mainly because I like Short, Roberts, and Perryman, and I don't trust the defence at all. But seeing Pryor now might change things. So the team could go one or two ways. Um, I think Matt Roberts was really impressive. I was reading somewhere, and I watched the game, but the analysis from some people is beneficial. But Roberts essentially Nick Blakey was taking all the kickouts, which is different than last year, but he was going to Roberts every time, I'm pretty sure. So he's the
Yeah.
designated kicker. I loved this game. Was really impressed, but I think Perryman's the questionable one. I'll let you talk about Short because you're hot on Short, but is he had 27 touches, 56 or something disposal efficiency. So if he cleaned up his touch, and we got smacked, so the scaling would have been a bit skewed. Is he a trap? Is he a fine pick? Is all 3 required? I think that's the big question, and I would like your views on it as well.
Yeah, and we're chatting about Perryman. I don't think he's a trap,
Mm.
but if you can only pick 2,
Yeah.
A lot of me is leaning towards Short and Roberts, which is not what everyone else is probably thinking. Everyone else is leaning more towards Short as the last option and Roberts and Perryman as the top option.
And I think that's because of his injury history, right? Like, you know, and we've done it earlier in the podcast. He's always done this in preseason, and then you go like, fuck, he's just a trade waiting to happen. But I think what we said was smart the pod before. If one of these picks fails, we could just go down to Mills. So
Yeah.
just sucks that I'm taking a risk on all three of them.
Yeah, and fuck, he's playing tomorrow, so you have to be like,
I think he's locked. Yeah, I think he's locked. You're big on him, so I'll let you do it. But yeah, he's in.
well, he's not in my team.
So you're telling me we talked earlier yesterday, in fact, and you said
Well, he didn't fit.
Yeah.
I'll show you my team, but he
That's
doesn't
right.
fit. I'm still not certain though. It's between him and Callahan for me.
Well, I think Short is going to get the ball every day of the week. They're playing slower, right? That's what you told me. The coach wants them to, possess the footy more because they don't get belted.
So yeah, they don't get absolutely slogged. They can run the time down
to try and finish above St Kilda, who is going to be second last. All right. Sorry, Saints fans, but being honest here, you got a bloke named Boxall in your team. No offense,
he's meant to be pretty good, isn't he?
But no, I just think going back to what we've said countless times, the ball's going to be down there. He'll take a few kick-ins. He'll bomb at 50 to get rid of it. That's good. Look at Luke Ryan.
You want those long kicks to 50-50s, and that's why I put Roberts in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for all the people who don't know out there.
Can't Short do the same?
Yeah. That's what he does.
That's what he was doing in the preseason games.
Yeah. So for all the people who don't know this, the maximum amount of points that a defender can get is a intercept mark, and then long kick to a 50-50. I think it's over 50 meters or 40 meters to a 50-50 is considered a complete kick.
Yeah.
And then gained meters as well. It all works in. They get a fuck ton of points from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what you want. And that's why Luke Puke Ryan used to get so many points, because he'll just intercept and bomb the fucking thing.
I'm actually jealous I don't own him. I don't think his value anymore. Like, he was just going berserk, and then they changed the game plan. So now he's the same price as when he was doing that. But, mate, Luke Ryan scored like 190, didn't he? Doing that stuff.
Yeah, can't. Yeah. He had 40 disposals or something, and a stupid amount of intercepts against Richmond. I remember just watching it go up, and you were just crying.
Yeah. Well, the other one that can go nuclear is Dane Zorko. I've tossed and turned about picking him or not, but I've looked at the matchups, and we haven't got DFS open, but it's a good indicator to see like what the fixture is. But it's essentially mostly healthy fixtures. So he's got Sydney. Am I on the right one? Yeah. So Sydney, West Coast, Geelong, Richmond, Bulldogs, Collingwood, Saints. Like Saints, Collingwood, and Bulldogs and Richmond. I can't remember if Bulldogs
and West Coast.
And West Coast. They're all generous matchups. So I guess, could he get tagged by old mate Jordan? That's the question.
God, no, mate. They're going to chockies.
Yeah, I just don't think. Do you think he could? Because who did Jordan go to? He went to Day when the tag happened.
Yeah, he went to Bill Day. Absolutely destroyed him.
Yeah.
He has been known to go to half-backers. Like, I suppose it's whoever's...
Well, he's a half-forward. Yeah. I mean, the other person is Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark is, I think, Freo play Sydney the next round. So I don't think there's much of an argument. But, I don't mind. And Zorko's past scoring history is just insane. Like, he hasn't done that well against West Coast, but his previous stats, he's gone 160 a couple of times. So, and the big thing about Zorko is I was listening on the radio just then. Kitty Coleman is still continually getting delayed with his rehab, or he's just not ready to play games. I don't know what stage of the rehab it is. That's even more positive for Zorko, I think. Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm out of everyone in the league. That's such a big. That's way too much. Not everyone in the league, but I'm very hot on Zorko. Like fucking put him in my team.
The 40-year-old man. I think the next I can
Wait,
go
real
into
quick on Zorko. I know we're rambling on him,
yeah.
but the kind of pods you want in your team are the pods that people are scared to bring in. Like Yo last year is the best example because he's absolutely slaughtering. He's injury prone. You didn't start him, so you don't want to waste a trade bringing this guy in, but he's just killing you. But then you could bring him in and he gets injured. So if you just start the injury prone guys, then they will make or break your season. But if they make it,
That's exactly it. I mean, if you look at my team in the ruck line, there's an injury prone bloke, and we wish him all the best. But it's a risk you got to take. I think, like if and it helps if at least you're doing it earlier in the season, not when you have trades, limited trades, which I've done before, and you remember just me being so hurt when Yowie got injured, and you're trading in, and then I guess the thing is you don't trade him in, the injury prone
yeah,
players. If
you just suck it up.
yeah, I think I can move on to the mid. So
Go.
I've got track. Um, I really could get anyone really, but track, Richards, Rosie, Clayton. I'm thinking of captaining him this week, to be honest, just because my team name's Blood, Sweat, and Clary. Chera, Finn O'Sullivan, Sardis, and Ashcroft. I think I might get rid of Ashcroft to O'Driscoll. Benches Never Camperelli, and Boxall, which I'm not totally sold on him, to be honest. Just purely just because he was low tog. But I
Yeah.
was talking to a
Pretty
Saints
sure.
mate.
Yeah. Go. Sorry.
Well, he doesn't know who he thinks the kids are just going to have a crack, which makes sense because they're bottom four. I don't need to say it quite a lot, but
Did Boxall play the VFL game beforehand?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not going to say.
Because
I know that you mentioned that last time. Yeah,
I was listening to 200 Plus today as well, and they were talking about how because they were talking to Chom, and Chom was saying, "Oh, you can't really like take anything in the practice match for face value because some of the people who are playing played in the practice matches beforehand. Like some of the
yeah,
A, I
exactly.
think Drape said it. Some of like the A team players played in the VFL practice match beforehand, and like so they only played half a game,
Yeah,
and vice versa. Well, like a lot of the rookies,
I think he's a sub risk. I think he's a sub risk.
they can't
Um,
sub them all though.
exactly. So I think it's just luck of the draw. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I
Because
think
with
it'll
Hall,
be
Hasty, who's the other one? Hall, Hasty, and Boxall.
Chevalier might even play Boxall.
I really hope
Like
Chevalier plays. I love Chevalier. I don't know why. It must be his name, and he's under 18 scoring that just lights my eyes up. I'm just really
you
wanting to
sexy
play.
man.
But he only played half a game as well.
Yeah.
Even one quarter or 1.5 quarters or something. But
So it's so strange. I wish we had the stats from the VFL game.
yeah, even the Supercoach sort of scores are a little bit hard to find. Like even I would love a heat map, or
Yeah,
just
just one heat map.
something elite for us.
Yeah.
The first two, I think Petrarca, and I'll leave Richards to you, but Petrarca and Chera was hot on all preseason, and I'm glad everyone sort of got on board because I think he is the best mid pricer. We're talking about Callahan and Ashcroft. I think Chera is the best out of the lot. And then Petrarca, I think I loved his game. He looks like he's got a point to prove. He's making big changes in his life, getting rid of his manager. Maybe he's just,
Getting
maybe
ready
he's
to come to the Pies.
I would love that. But
Imagine that. He'd be my favorite player in the world. I'd watch all his cooking videos.
mate, he cooks some glorious food. Makes me hungry every single time.
Hey, honestly, to be honest, the dinner I'm about to have tonight is a Petrarca recipe.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Track,
he
what
does.
is it? Track 5. Shout out track 5.
Yeah, shout
Whatever.
out. Whatever the
Um,
fuck it is. He does single pant and don't worry about it. Continue.
Levi, I'm not sold on, but we've already gone over that. I think the big ones that I'm doing is TDK and Flynn in the rucks.
Wait, can we talk about track
Yep.
again?
Yep.
I wish I could have him in my team. He's unbelievable. I really want to start him at M1 and have been trying to work out a way to do it. And I think the only way is what you're about to say right now. This ruck setup that you got.
Don't do that, mate. You have
I'm not
you're
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying that's the only way to do it.
you
But
said
I'm
to
not
me, you said to me that one of us has to do it, and one
gonna.
of us will be winning, one of us won't be winning, and
I'm
that's
not
the way
gonna
it's
do
going
it.
to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just going to one of us is going to be happy and down at the pod, and then by round 12, we're all just one's going to be up, one's going to be down.
Well, all it is, and I've worked it out. I've thought long and hard about this. Some sleepless nights looking at the roof. All right. All this is what player do you think is better,
Yeah,
Petrarca or Max Gawn? That's all it is.
yeah.
Or like, do you rate? Let's just say you had Andy Brayshaw at M1. So you have this set up. That means that you rate Andy Brayshaw over, let's just say a
Well, I
Sherry.
could easily get rid of Kako for Brayshaw. I'm just a bit unsure. I really like Hewitt as that forward spot. And that could, I don't know. I've worked it out. I think that I can get. Oh, it might be Hall instead of
I'm not saying
Kako.
that it's a bad. I'm not saying what you're doing is bad. I'm just saying that's after
Yeah,
my long thinking of like, why is this better? Is this better? And it's there's no difference. It's just that you just rate if you
yeah,
rate a midfielder over the ruckman.
exactly. Um,
Yeah,
I think well with the TDK, and I may as well go on to my additional midfielder, but TDK and Flynn, it allows me to get Ashcroft, in the flex spot, um, which I think is smart as well because I think he's going to go berserk at the start of the year. He's got a soft matchup. We've
yeah.
talked about him at length, but that's the risk you got to take. I just feel like the additional midfielder outweighs sort of the prime ruckman and would get a rookie because Flynn's probably going to score 80 or 90.
Mhm.
So Ashcroft would null out one of these shitty scores that I get on the outfield. So, um, and I think just forward line, I think it's pretty template to be honest. But Horn Francis, Ranky,
It's not template at all.
Horn Francis, Rankin, McRae, Daniel, SPP, Davidson, Kako, and Stone. Yeah, I think it's right. I'm not sold on Power Pepper, but I think there's enough value in Stone or Kako to just swap them around. I had Garcia in my team, but I'm not sold on him.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that it's stock standard for us, but I think a lot of people are running Vaughan Francis, McRae, Daniel, Bailey Smith kind of vibes.
right.
And obviously, me and you
Yeah.
have both done this, but we've both faded Bailey Smith and put in Rankin.
Yeah. That's the only, I'll probably prefer out of all the picks, Smith, Sanders, and Garcia. I think I'd rather Bailey Smith. But if I can get it to Rankin, that's light work. Like, that's pretty
Mm.
good. I think I may as well just go on to my second option, which I would love for you to say, is it better or is it worse? But it's,
He's getting rid of Kako.
yeah, so Kako out, Pryor in.
Putting Jackson Pryor into the back line. He also got rid of Perryman.
I think it works like this. I might have.
He's putting Max Hall into the forward line. Then now he's getting rid of Perryman, who's great, Kako, who's great, and putting in Max Hall, who's kind of shit, and Pryor, who's kind of good. Okay. He's putting in Finn Callahan.
28.
And now he's
I mean,
midfield.
I'm not gonna go too crazy with it. Who's her? How much? I haven't
How
thought
much
this
money
out
you
to
got?
be honest. Hewitt,
148. You could go Berry or Hewitt.
no, thank you. I will just go Hewitt. And if I really rate Ed, and I'd rather just have 25 spare. But I think I can go Dawson with this. But who would you rate more? I guess that's a quick question. Dawson or Ed? I've been hot
Hey,
on
you're
Ed.
asking the wrong person. You're
No,
asking you're
no,
asking the
no.
number one Ed Richards fan in the world.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave Ed in there, to be honest.
I'll death ride Ed Richards to 200K.
I mean,
I'll have him all season. I don't give a fuck. I'll ride him all the way down to
so
nothing.
so I've gotten rid of Ashcroft and Callahan in, but I've gotten rid of Perriman. So it's basically Callahan and Pryor, because Kako was already that price, so it doesn't really matter. But
This is all
yeah,
right.
you
Shut the
go,
fuck up.
go,
Shut the
go.
fuck up. All right. You've been sending me this stuff all week, right? It is all the exact same. Like we don't know what Callahan's going to score. If he scores, let's just say he scores 100, 120, right? What do you reckon he'll score average?
105,
105 for Callahan. Well, what do you reckon Perryman will score?
95 to 105.
So if they both score 105, what you've done is literally just move the score of 105 to the midfield rather than the back line.
But I think the big one is the rookie that I could get. Maybe I could try and get O'Driscoll instead. He would score more than Pryor. Do you know what I mean? I'll probably be able to trade Levi. I just never did it before the pod. Well, we had a bit of tech issues, but I think, yeah, so Callahan and Pryor, I think the big one is that for me, Callahan and Pryor and Perriman and say no Nathan O'Driscoll, I think Pryor could maybe bang out a 60 and O'Driscoll could bang out an 80 or an 85.
In what
But
variation do you have O'Driscoll in?
no, it would be instead of Levi. Like I'd find a way to make it happen for instead of Levi.
Oh,
Because at that point of time, I had Levi in my team. So if Levi was to go,
true. I'm seeing what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. So I think if I did that, I think it's probably better scoring wise, even though Callahan's questionable as well. Can we just quickly talk about him? That was probably his best game of the year, but I think Green helps him quite a fair bit.
Like, better?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Does Green help him, or does Green like Green being out of the team, is that bad for him or good for him?
I think it's better for him because
Mhm.
he will, because you saw how progressive he was. Is as big as he is, he's not a contested footballer. So Green will just
Yeah.
get him the ball and he'll boot it. So that's why I'm like, well, he could be much better than Perriman. And you can get another 130 for him. But I think the buy is a bit annoying as well, isn't it? Like you're just getting him for 1 week, and if he does shit right,
Mhm.
you're kind of just stuck with him. Would it be easier just to buy into that player rather than the other way around? You know,
Yeah, I just don't know who you're gonna buy in for.
it'd be probably just one of the shorts, Roberts or Perriman. I think. I don't know how else someone else would do it, but
And what
in
if
my
they're all
setup,
playing well?
just got to cop the loss. I think you got to.
One of you is just getting
Well, I'm looking at Ashcroft in my team as well, so maybe you just trade one of those. I think
yeah.
I think that may be just the plan. Because all season I have been quite concerned of the defensive line, so it's not like it's nothing new, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's probably the plan. Maybe get rid of Ashcroft. Leave Boyd at R3. I think there's not much other options other than maybe Archer Reed, I think his name is, who plays for West Coast, but he's 40K more expensive, and that kind of destroys all the options that you have on field. So go on to your team.
Archer Reed. Wait, who's Archer Reed?
The ruck forward for West Coast,
Oh,
who
yeah.
could be a potential R3 option.
Yeah. So my team, for the Spotify listeners, I've got at the moment Sheasel, Zorko, Roberts, Perryman, Patton, Reed, and I've got Leak in here at the moment. Who I'm obviously going to have to try and find a way to get out. I've also got Trainer as well in the back line.
And how much cash do you have in the bank?
I've got $700.
Yeah.
I am not stoked with this back line. I would love to have Short here as well, but I can't pick everyone. I can't have everyone in my team.
No.
It's just something I'm going to have to fucking accept. You can't have them all. So, like Will was saying, super hot on obviously the normal picks, Sheasel, Zorko. Really love the Roberts game, long bombs. But yeah, it's a pretty standard back line, don't you reckon?
I think so. You're running the two defenders don't look that bad. That so that's what we were leaning back on before. Patton and Reed. Reed's actually who are you going to play, Reed or Trainer? I think that
I'll play Reed.
Trainer could. Yeah, I think Trainer could be a starting option, but I would rather put him in the bench in case I want to change my team.
Apparently, Reed's a gun.
He is. He scored 70 in. The knock on Reed is he's never healthy. But he scored 70 odd in the preseason, so
yeah,
fingers crossed because he absolutely fucked us last year and didn't he score a 5 or a 0 last year?
Something like that.
And he ended up being a loop. Which is hilarious.
Yeah, I think I had him on my team for ages.
So all the best, Reedy. Please stay healthy for us because look at the line that we're dealing with.
Please. I don't want to have to put Gibcus in.
We're gonna have to do a Ugle-Hagen and just
pull a gun
on ourselves.
In the midfield, I have now. You could call this light, or you couldn't call it light. I've gone Ed Richards M1, Rosie, Clayton Oliver, Chera, Callahan, Will Ashcroft, and then running Sardis and Ashcroft in the midfield. And then on the bench, I got Nevitt, Camporelli, and Boxall. I'm not like super stoked on anything in my team, but I'm happy with this variation. I mean, like this Finn Callahan could obviously be anyone who I would want it to be.
Can he push that level that we spoke about earlier in the pod, or maybe 2 episodes ago, of who's our top 8? And it's pretty hard to push into the top 8, to be honest. But
it's very hard.
441, averaging 105. That's a steal, isn't it? That's basically what Yo was last year, and everyone was saying how good Yo was doing.
What's his priced at? He's priced at a 82. So,
yeah,
if he makes, it's a great pick. Like, he's going to score more than 82. Obviously he's going to have down games. And he's not going to be pumping out hundreds every single week. I feel like what we saw on the weekend was a bit of an anomaly for him.
Yeah,
but
I agree. We've never. I mean, there was a few games last year where he went bonkers, but nothing like what he did. And look at the scoring. Is that what you're?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So he went last year. He went in the back half. 101, 78, 104, 71, 97, 77, 84, 122, a 54, a 116, 82, and a 90. Like, I feel like we can see very similar scores to that this year, but it might be a little bit more inflated. Like, what was his, and I'm doing it right now, share this tab third. Callahan. How do you spell Callahan?
Keller. I just call him Keller.
So last year when he was popping off, scoring SuperCoach, a 122. Yeah, so he's never been exposed to the midfield like he has against Collingwood. Yep. He's never had 80% CBAs. He's had a hit, 84% CBAs. scored a 90.
Yeah.
What went wrong this game? He had 26 disposals, 65 disposal efficiency.
And a bit so Green coming back may impact that, but I think Josh Kelly as well has taken a little bit more of a backseat. But I would love to know what Josh Kelly's CBAs were, because that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Just
Josh
last
Kelly's
year, really.
CBAs. Last year, Josh Kelly's CBAs were 26, 66, 8, 6,
Yeah, so
12.
hardly at all.
Yeah, hardly any. He has had those couple games. And on the weekend, Josh Kelly had 72% CBAs. I
Yeah.
feel like he's the player that gets pushed out when Green comes
not
back.
Callahan. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
This actually made me a little bit hotter on the pick. What are your thoughts on it? Like, I see.
Well,
Is it
that's what I
worth it?
mean. I think it just goes back to what you said. I think he could definitely smash it out of the park, but you can also wait a week on him.
Mm.
I just think the buy is just a bit annoying. So if he does, he's only played one good game. I may as well should check while you're looking the preseason stats, because I don't know if it's on DFS.
It's on. What was it on?
But he
Footy
had
info.
20. So he had 27, 14 kicks, 13 touches in the preseason match against Carlton, and they got absolutely hammered.
Yeah, he did
So,
well, and I'm pretty
yeah.
sure in the match before that, like the scratch match one, did
Yeah.
well again. I think he scored 127 fantasy. I could be wrong though,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I
I'm
think
hot.
he's
I'm
actually
hot
had
on
a
it.
decent preseason, and you can't knock the pick at all. I just think you could wait and you probably won't be punished. But that you could say the same about Perriman. We talked about this earlier. Perriman has a buy too. Is it worth taking the risk on Callahan and trading to Perriman? But you can't even do that, can you? It's really short
No, you
or
can't.
Callahan.
It'd be the other way
Yeah,
around. You take a risk
yeah,
on Perryman and then
short.
trade into
Yeah,
Short or
yeah,
Callahan. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, he's in my team right now, and it comes to like what we are talking about before. If a player goes and to get in Short, it's a player has to go, and out of all these players, it would be Callahan to go.
yep.
And do I
Yep.
rate Finn Callahan or Short? I think I rate Finn Callahan.
And you rate Ashcroft more than Callahan?
They're so even right now. I was just
They are.
looking at his stats. I was literally just everyone probably saw. I was just looking at his stats. Hasn't really had that full-time mid role ever.
Yeah.
Like there's the one game here from 2023 where he played 72% CBAs and had an 87.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like where's his anomaly games? There we go. 148, 102. Okay, what's he done here? It's nothing. He's just kind of like played a good game, you know?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at his CBAs. He
What was
attended
that, sorry?
17. He attended 17 CBAs for in the preseason game. Will Ashcroft.
Yeah, I just think they're the
screen.
exact same player. But I'm going to start both. I've decided I'm starting both. I don't know what I would do to bring other people in. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with this midfield. I've actually been toying around with getting rid of Rosie.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just before we're having internet issues, but I think the center bounces were 27 when I looked on my phone for Neil, and then Ashcroft have 17. Unfortunately, I don't know what percentage that would be, but maybe it's still the 70s that we, we were just looking at before. I think 70s or 80s. And would his brother impact him? I guess is the other question. I didn't watch the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we can call Breno now and ask him, should we?
Oh, sure, we could get the Brisbane informant on.
Let's go.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
What a fucker.
Our Brisbane
Anyway,
informant, he's a fucking
he's a
useless bloke.
Let's move on to the ruck. So I'm going with Max Gawn. I've been hot on Max Gawn all year. I've been all preseason. I've said I'm going Maxi, going Max, and we know if you listen to the pod, we know that the only reason I'm going for Max is just to be different. Just have a little bit of fun.
Can we just talk about his game? His first game coming up, and you're the Max Gawn seller at the moment. I mean, you were on him. You were fading cherry for the man, so you may as well just go. I think you can put a little bit of mayo on it, Michael.
Well, how old is Max Gawn?
50.
So
he's got to be 50.
The 40-year-old demon that is Max Gawn gets better with like a wine, like a fine wine. And I've talked all preseason about how juicy his little patches that he has at the start of the season, but we can touch on it again. He's got GWS to start. That's a captain option. Doesn't have Briggs. Going to be versus Madden. What's he going to go? 200? We're going to see another 200 game.
I just don't like. I don't believe Madden is actually a real player. He must. I think he's an NPC. Like he will be. He will be whenever they're playing Saturday night. He's going to dominate people. I mean, Gawn's just going to be. Everyone's going to be saying, oh my god, how good is Max Gawn? And you just got to. He's just going to cop it, I think. It's going to be one game where he goes, he's a great captaincy. He's definitely your captain?
100%. Sunday captain, baby.
Yep. I like it.
If my VC doesn't go 130 plus, 140 plus, I'm riding on Max Gawn. So then he's got Sherry the next week. Tough matchup. It would be the battle of the two big boys. Then he's got Wits. Yeah, probably smack him. What did he score last time against Wits? 97. Not too good, actually. Jesus, my bad. Then he's got Geelong, Essendon tough, Freo good, Richmond good, West Coast good, Hawthorn against Big Lloyd. But we don't even need to look that far. We just need to look at this little stretch here. This one right here and this one right here.
Maybe Gold Coast is the hardest.
Yeah, probably. It's super exciting. I'm a biggest Max Gawn. And what's he owned at the moment? Please tell me it's still 15%. Please tell me that he's at the 20%. Fucking you fake. You're all fakers. How could you fake? Anyway, so going Max Gawn and TDK pick. I've been hot on Lloyd Meek all year. Did he perform?
We've even forgotten about Meek. We were going to go on to the big scores just quickly, but yeah. You could talk about him now. How good did he look?
Mate, he looked phenomenal. And did we or did we not say last podcast that Lloyd Meek will be top 3?
Yeah. I mean, I think Nank's Nank. We'll see how good Nank is.
Mate, you think Lloyd is going to be...
Well, pick him. Pick him, you duffers.
I will. You didn't let me finish, so I'm going to go TDK.
No.
And then when Pitnet comes back, I'll trade out TDK and go to Big Lloyd Meek.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying no as in fading Tom de Conning. No. I was worried for you, mate. I was going to have to send,
so then that's going to be
police,
my setup.
Send the police over, an ambulance. He's losing his
mind.
Imagine
that you look at my team of the first game and just TDK's out, Big Lloyd Meek's in.
Yeah.
And then in the forward line, I'm going to classic.
Same as you.
James Francis, Rankin, McRae. But and then on the bench, Stone, Hewitt, flex, big Flynn boy.
I like Hewitt, and I don't know if he plays this week because he's just joining in right now, but I think he's guaranteed minutes more than all the
Yeah.
others. So would you just cop the 1 week of not playing? Because I think he's going to be in the team. He's very highly rated.
I don't know who I'm
Or-
going to would trade him into.
So, well, you've got Hall, you've got,
I'm not starting Hall.
yeah, they're all questionable, all the others.
Yeah.
I mean, you could swap Patton back there, but look at your defense. You need Patton
Yeah, I was
there.
going to say, I need Patton back there. That's the last
Yeah.
person I want to take.
They're-
Yeah, I am happy to start him, I think, and I can just use him as loop.
Yeah, 51% owned, but it's kind of crazy how highly owned. I mean, would you start Kako instead? You
I
don't have
can't.
the money. Yeah.
I would. If I had the money, I'd start Kako.
What do you think about Kako? I know I just quickly glossed over him, but
I love him. I think he's an exceptional football player. Obviously, you're going to get the really shit scores of like 20 or like 25, but there's going to be some big spike games.
Can you just go on a fan footy just quickly? But I'm pretty sure he scored 4 goals and he only got 90 odd, didn't he?
Yeah, could have had 5 goals. Oh,
I know it was 4 goals, but I don't know what score it was.
Where do we see it? How do I?
You're right. You're on there.
Oh, is this it here?
Click SuperCoach, yeah. So the points are at the top so I can see where he is.
There he is.
So he scored a 97 off 4 goals. That's actually
awful.
Yeah, I think this is why I've gotten rid of him. 4 goals, 97. That is ridiculous. They've won. He must have all got it when the scaling was finished or something. Because he did get one at the end. But that is cardinal. That's a 120 at least. SuperCoach, fix your game.
He's had
13 touches.
That's a great game.
And he's scored 97. Oh my God. That's
so
wild.
Looking at that though, and he just only gets 13 touches. Like what? Durham here scored 2 goals. Only had 61.
I think we should just give up. Quit while
Caddy
you're ahead.
scored 3 goals but only Caddy had about 50% time on ground. Anyway,
yeah, well, time on ground's actually a factor. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend I know any of this. I'm just fuck's sake. He scored 4 goals, played one of the best games of the whole season, and he gets a 97. Like, imagine what his mum would be disappointed. That's all I'm saying. Treat your son better. Treat my son better.
Yeah, came home. What's his mum's name? Let's
no
just
idea.
say her name. Adeline. Let's just add Adeline. Strange name. Comes home. First thing. Me.
Yeah, but it's not him getting smacked. It's what are the people that do the scoring? That SuperCoach Champion Data.
Oh no.
She's slapping Champion Data.
No, mate. You know Kako's dad. He's not a nice boy. You know they come into that family and he's going do better. But Dad, Super Champion's Data fucked me over, and he's just like, "Come here, son. Come here." And he's heating up fucking forks, and he's just putting little dots on his arms.
Kako wouldn't. Kako's the greatest. He would get the royal treatment. He would get the royal treatment.
Anyway, next topic. Kako's not coming in my team. Elijah Hewitt's in there, Stone's in there. Happy with Stone's game. I might even trade him out if I could and put in Joe Berry. I think Joe Berry's going to have a great season.
Oh, this idiot.
Why do you hate Joe Berry pick so much?
Mate, all right. I haven't got the stats in front of me. I'm looking them up very quickly. I'm sorry I don't have all this on my laptop already, but I wasn't expecting Joe fucking Berry to getting named. He was about, how is he still 12% owned? That's what I want to know. Where is Joe Berry's stats? he got. Where is Joe Barry? He had 14 touches, 7 kicks, 7 handballs, 86% disposal efficiency.
Keep telling me.
But
Keep telling
but
me
I
he's a bad
think
player.
he only had a 48 fantasy. I think he had a 40 SuperCoach. So I really can't. I'm not going to say I know what the score was because they only do fantasy on the AFL app. But I think the other bloke, Joe Richards, he's got the more lucrative role. I don't think Joe Barry scores well as a Supercoach rookie. I think he's just going to be a floating forward, maybe forward pocket.
Mate, why do you hate Joey Boy so much? What did he
I don't
do
know.
to you?
I think it's because you like him so much. Leave it at that.
All right. But anyway, lads, that is my team going in. Feel free to copy it as much as you can because this will be the one that wins the 50K, so we'll win it together. I don't have any alternative teams like Will has. My alternative team is maybe get rid of you, maybe get rid of you. No, I don't want to get rid of him. Fuck. Maybe my alternative team is this. How much money do I have? Oh, that's.
Hey, just quickly,
Mm.
I still think Harvey Langford is a good option. Just quickly, I know
Shut up, mate.
I think people are going to be sleeping on Harvey Langford. I'm just calling it now. Well, I'm happy to meet you again next week, and you actually tell me, just like Chera, you say that's a shit pick, and then you will be coming in, blowing kisses at me, just saying, "Oh my God, Will, you were right. You were right. Sorry, you were right. The Harvey Langford is a good player." I'm not picking him.
This is not what I'm getting angry at. I wish I had the time to go back into like previous podcasts.
Yeah.
And just listen to fuck those Melbourne boys. They're both fucking shit. Fuck you, Lindsay. Fuck you, Langford. Not putting him in my team.
Oh, look.
That's not even Mayo. There's no Mayo on that.
There's no Mayo. I'm just saying, I said the same about O'Driscoll, to be fair. I'm very reactionary. I'm a passionate man when it comes to rookies, and I just want to choose the right ones. When I found out Harvey Langford played 54% TOG and still banged out a 60 or whatever it was.
He probably played in the VFL beforehand.
They were playing VFL in they played in Mandurah. You reckon they're playing VFL there?
Fucking oath they are. Why not?
Don't play VFL in Mandurah, mate.
Mate, it's the whole team. It's a community. They'd be playing their VFL team and it'd be like, they go up as a team. It's a unit.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't mind the pick, but there's betters out there. I just wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those rookies that we missed. Not like our Brisbane informant saying Harry Sharp. Like, we know Harry Sharp is shit, but Harvey Langford has potential.
Oh,
True?
Yeah, it's true. I like Harvey Langford pick. What was he?
Yeah.
Pick 3, pick 4?
Yeah, and all those midfielders had insane Supercoach fantasy rankings or stats, sorry. But Harvey Langford was one of the best, I'm pretty sure. He had an insane, I think it was like 120s that he was scoring.
So look at this shit. Why the fuck am I starting Nevitt? I'm so cold on the Mitch Nevitt pick that I've been persuaded, and I don't know why I'm putting him in my team, but I'm just listening to outside noise and putting this shit cunt Nevitt in my team.
Now we're just going off on everyone. Like 150K, that's pretty cheap. That's like back when we had 30-cent cones. Like 150 for a CBA mid, that's bloody beautiful, mate.
I would rather a $2 sundae in there, I don't want a 50-cent cone Mitch Nevitt. I want a Harvey Langford. Harvey, big boy, big nuts Langford. He's probably got some big fucking nuts on him, that guy.
I know who does. Big old Sammy Laylaw. His nickname's Agates.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, yep. Agates.
And to be honest, if I didn't have Laylor in my keeper league, I would probably have him in my classic.
Are we picking Laylor? Are you hot on Laylor? I guess we're going.
I'm very hot on Laylor.
Mm.
You know, this keeper league's done some things to me that
reminds me. I'm going to check my draft
that we should never speak of. This keeper league has made me, if I have him in that, in my like FOMO in the back of my head is calmed because I'm like, oh, I've got him. It's not in this team, but it's in a different team. You know?
Yep. I think Laylor, they've said that they're going to nurse him. Well, and obviously he just broke his jaw, but they said he'll play mid and forward, you know, so
he'll play forward. He'll kick about 10 goals every game.
He's a big boy. He's like just like a Finn Callahan, basically. Just somebody drug test him. That's all I'm requesting because they're just, you know, just big, beautiful oxes just tearing up the footy field.
Do you see how fucking ripped he looks?
Which Laylor?
Laylor.
He's massive, mate. He's massive.
Yeah, have you seen the comparison photos
of
him at the start of the preseason and him now?
Oh no, I remember
he is shredded cunt.
Good on him.
He's just a big boy, just pulsating out of his jersey.
But I remember draft day, he was taking photos with the others, and he was just like just
a big fridge. Yeah,
good on him. The fridge, Laylor.
They've just walked in on draft day, and we went. It's like Longest Yard. They just see the big black guy, and they go, "We want that guy." They just see big Sammy Laylor.
But I'm still not picking you. Sorry, Agates. I'm not picking you.
Nah, fuck him. Go to my keeper league. If anyone wants him, happy to trade him. I've had some unusual requests recently.
No one cares about it, mate. Nobody cares about draft.
Nobody makes it this far.
I mean,
as soon as they see our teams, they're gone.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But anyway, hopefully one of us is ranked in the top 500. Hopefully one of us actually wins the SuperCoach Gold prize, the 2K. That would be bloody beautiful.
Fucking suck. Our teams are so close to each other that we're both just going to start the round at 50K again. Watch us both get 50K.
Come on, mate. What did we say about jinxing? That's
I hope it doesn't.
Happen.
I actually don't want the season to start so I don't get depressed that my team sucks.
I'm excited to start because I'm sick of. I've had to delete 50 screenshots already. So I just cannot wait till the team's done and then I can just manifest it in my head instead of just. It's just like Candy Crush, just getting the players in, looking at them, changing it back. And the colours are just all beautiful.
All right. You're right. I'm sick of the head noise I have just consistently. I would love to look at my screen time on the SuperCoach app.
Oh, I don't know. I've looked at it recently. I don't want to talk about it. Might get in trouble. So,
all right, lads.
The hours are up.
My computer's dying again. I'm cutting out. But I'm going to end it here because I'm cutting out. I'm sorry, Crooks, if you're talking. I can hear some robot in the background. But thank you so much for listening, everyone. We will see you in the next episode. And good luck, everyone. We haven't done the cherry on top. Maybe we'll start it next week.
Definitely.
But see you later.